Hey, it seems that we're constantly hearing about how Social Security is going to run out of money, but we never ever hear about welfare or food stamps running out of money. What's interesting is that the very first group worked for the money, but the second group did not. Profundity. Hey, the Overflow crowd recently in Ohio at a Trump rally was interesting to watch. It was huge. It was jam full, hundreds of thousands of people, apparently, when you include all of the people that couldn't get in. And then, of course, you had zillions more watching on various channels online. And what's really interesting is people say he lost. I guess he did. And by my wondering out loud, of course, I'll be heavily censored because that's the way of the world today. Wow, holy. That's not good, is it? But you know what? It is what it is. And when you look at all this stuff, you have to wonder. Biden had a rally and he had 800 people show up, and Trump has hundreds of thousands. I mean, what's up with that? Are his followers that dedicated? I guess. I will say this. Since he's left office, it sure is quiet. Just sharing with you. Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister in Canada, he's been chipping away at the rights of Canadians for a long time now. In fact, even before he became Prime Minister, right? He's been chipping away and trying to influence others to take their rights away from Canadians because he doesn't like that. With regard to guns, he's now saying, hey, we're going to buy guns back from you people. We're going to buy what we never own. Our budget is approaching $800 million. We're going to buy 518,000 guns. Firstly, he has no clue how many guns there are. Other people say there's 150. Others say there's well in excess of 1 million because they don't know. They don't know how many guns Canadians even own, particularly long guns. Nobody has a clue. And the $756 million budget, I'm reminded of the long gun registry that the same party brought in. They said it's going to cost, I don't know, I think $1 million, and ended up costing a couple of billion. So you know, they're clueless. They can't give a detailed cost of any kind of an estimate because, one, they don't know, and two, I don't think people are buying into it this time. I think they'll keep their guns in their basement, waiting and hoping for another government another day, because these are people that pass a background check each and every day. These are people that pay licensing fees. These are people that pay taxes. These are people that are honest citizens, and they're being treated like criminals. They're criminals. They get let out, particularly if there's a risk. Got COVID coming now, you can be free, right? So Trudeau hates people that are honest, I guess. Certainly hates white, honest people, just saying. He also has this thing coming here, which is called the Universal Basic Income Plan. Some people say that won't happen. It's already happened. I know so many people that are on COVID money, they get $2,000 a month or $1,800, whatever it is, and they won't work. They say, I can't afford to work. I've talked to some kids that really want to work, and they say, I'll lose $1,000 a month if I go to work. I'm going to just not. I'm enjoying this. I have a budget, and I buy new running shoes, and I do everything I want to do. It's kind of like having a job. That's not good. Very, very bad. Let's single out one city here in Alberta. Let's go with Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat, federal income tax last year, you paid $207 million in federal income tax. Hey, do y'all feel like you got a good deal? Did you get stuff back for the $207 million? You also paid a whole bunch of money provincially, another $85 billion. But let's go with the federal, the feds. These are the guys that poke you with sticks all the time. And how many of you people in Medicine Hat have guns? Quite a few of you. I'd venture to say more than half of you. And look how you're being treated. Not so good. Maybe never ever vote for those people again. And maybe check out wildrose.party. Or other parties like that. Parties that offer independence, a new way of thinking for Alberta. It's not just about separating, because it's an abused relationship, Alberta to Canada, but it's about having freedom restored, not just healthcare and abortion and please let me separate. That's not it. You need much more than that. And Wild Rose, for one, at least does provide or offer that. House prices. They're on a tear everywhere in Canada, pretty much everywhere in the free world. Prices have gone up dramatically. It's amazing to see, right? So what do you do now? Now you have O'Toole, who's the leader of the opposition in Canada, saying, halt, stop, screech, brakes on now. And he gets up in front of God and everybody and says, liberals, what are you going to do about it? And he talks about different things. And it almost sounds like he's proposing or wants to propose some left-wing thing. Let's subsidize, let's give guaranteed this and that. And that's not the way. Why are prices high? Well, look what it costs to build a house, to get a permit. It's years and years, and these developers are paying huge fees. It's all about leftism. Leftism costs money. So, O'Toole, talk about right-wingism, and prices will come down. people will react accordingly. I mean, right now in the socialist system, the only control you have on stuff like this is just to give more left-wing control. And you're controlling the people. And O'Toole, you're acting like that. You should switch parties. You should cross the floor. You need to come up with something right. Ain't that tough, really? Then in Alberta, you got the finance minister there. And that government is under attack. They're 30% in the polls. The Wild Rose Party, for instance, is 20%, and they haven't even been bragging about themselves much. Wait till they get fired up, right? But this minister says, you know what, we're going to reduce the nurses' wages to help balance the province's finances. Nothing else in this article, just we're going to tell the nurses they can't have as much money. Why don't you just write everybody a letter and say, never vote for us again? You're in the middle still of a pandemic. Sure, you don't have to wear a mask anymore. People, though, are still getting ill. And the people that fix the ill people, you say, you know, Finance Minister Travis Towles, we're going to get you. How dare you fix people and make all that money? We're going to take your money back. And guess what it is? 3%. I mean, 3%, I mean, come on already. That's not very much. I mean, why don't you just shut your mouth? And wow, should they get voted back in? Never. The Conservative Party in Alberta, well, firstly, they're not conservative. They're a mix of left-wing people, progressive conservatives, and a variety of other people. Time to switch. Independence, it's time. And I'm going to tell you more about that as time goes on, because I'm going to get involved, because we need a free enterprise, capitalist, conservative business model of a country. And I believe that can be Alberta, because they're in an abused relationship, as I've already said, and they got to break away from that Big Daddy. That'd be Ottawa. Come back. I got more some other day. Hey, see ya.